Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at UFC 319 Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. I'm going to be going through every single fight on the card, starting from the prelim all the way, well, the early prelim all the way to the main event. I'm going to give you my predictions on who's going to win. Sometimes I'll have a method for you as well. Let's get right into it. First up, we've got Alibi Idris versus Joseph Morales. I think this fight goes to a decision, to be honest. This is the TUF final, I do believe. I'm not fully caught up with TUF. In fact, I'm quite far behind with the Ultimate Fighter. But I've seen, I think, halfway through, even though it's concluded now. I'm about halfway through. Joseph Morales, for me, was an early contender. It's a tough one. But I'm going to have to go with Alibi Idris. I just... Here's the thing, right? Old world fighters beat new world fighters, and it doesn't really matter if they're on the Ultimate Fighter or not, you know? That's what I think. When we get to UFC level, old world fighters beat new world fighters. So I'm going to be going with Alibi Idris. Is he going to be a better quality of fighter? Like, it's just... You're gonna see what I mean. He's just gonna push harder. He's gonna have better grappling. He's gonna have better cardio. Morales is gonna fade. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough for Morales. But you know, he's good. Morales is good. I hope he gets re-signed. But is he really UFC caliber? Maybe low level. Maybe low level UFC. Next up, Karina Silva versus Dion Barboza. I'm gonna go with Karina Silva. In my opinion, just more experience, more well-rounded. I suppose Barboza just hasn't had the opportunity to be exposed to the same as Silva, though, as Silva's been, got a fair bit more fight experience. I'm gonna go with Silva. I do think it's gonna go to a decision. Women's flyweight, so there is potential for a finish, but we're gonna go with Karina Silva. That's fair. Women's flyweight. It's potential, but it's a women's fight, so I'm gonna go with Karina Silva by decision. Next up, we've got Nursultan Ruziboyev versus Brian Battle. Fan of both guys, like both guys' style. I've picked Ruziboyev before. He's served me well in the past. I've also done the same with Brian Battle. He's also served me well in the past. It's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Nursultan Ruziboyev. Again, I think he's just gonna smother Battle. And Brian Battle's got some good like counter wrestling, and he's got some good counter grappling maneuvers. And it is all to get you to stand in front of him pretty much, so he can tee off on you. Brian Battle can grapple, but he prefers to use that to stand. And I just don't think Nursultan Ruziboyev's gonna let off with the grappling. I think he will trade hands, and I think he will stand, but it will be to set up the grappling. So, yeah, I think Nursultan Ruziboyev probably wins this one. I think it also goes to a decision. I think kind of long-winded, drawn out. I think this one kind of gets a few boos. I think early on the card, early on the prelim. Then again, no one will even be there, so it won't get any boos. If there were people there, there'd be boos. Next up is Edson Barboza. Oh yeah, Nursultan Ruziboyev wins by decision. Next up, Edson Barboza versus Dakar Close. I want to pick Edson Barboza, but I don't even know how old Edson Barboza is off the top of my head. Yeah, fuck it. We'll go with Edson Barboza. We like Edson Barboza. I think he'll destroy the legs of Close and absolutely chop him up and ruin his mobility. And I think he gets the finish from there. So I think we might even see a TKO from Edson Barboza. I do like the sound of that. Do you like the sound of that? Do it for us, Barboza. Do it. Turn back the clock. Next up is Alexander Hernandez versus Chase Hooper. Tough one. I'm going to go with Chase Hooper. I think it's a good matchup. I do think Chase Hooper has better cardio. I think he has slightly better grappling. Alexander Hernandez maybe not better in the stand-up. I think they're equally matched in the stand-up, but I think that's more Chase Hooper's got the weird loopy slick kind of style, whereas Alexander Hernandez will kind of just keep trying to cut you off and keep coming forward and trying to cut you off. So it'll be an interesting matchup. I'm going to go with Chase Hooper. I do think it's going to go to a decision. I think it's going to be Chase Hooper by decision. But I think it has potential to be an entertaining fight. If it doesn't stall out too much and it doesn't end up with like just two guys walking in circles staring at each other because there's too much like respect, that could be an issue. Or maybe, you know, there's a lot of stalling in the grappling and they just can't, no one advances and they just can't stall out. Ooh, that is a potential as well. I'm just knocking shit over. But yeah, I'm going to go with Chase Hooper by decision. Next up, we've got Jessica Andrade versus Lupita Godinez. I'm going to go with Jessica Andrade. Powerful striker. I think if she lands one, it's night-night for Godinez. I really do. Yeah, why not? Women's strawweight, I'm predicting a knockout. I didn't say there was going to be one for women's flyweight. Isn't that crazy? For women's lightweight, sorry. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you know what? We'll scratch all that. We're going with Lupita Godinez. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Yeah, we'll go with Lupita Godinez by decision. I do think it's going to go to a decision. I'm thinking about it, and the likelihood of Andrade getting there. There's potential for it, but how good are the odds really of a landing? It's strawweight as well. What's the power going to be like? You know? No. We'll go with Lupita Godinez by decision. I think maybe Andrade kind of gasses. She tends to do that. And Lupita Godinez might even... No, I think it's going to be a decision. Yeah, Lupita Godinez by decision. Next up, Gerald Meerschaert versus Michael Oleksiejczuk. Oleksiejczuk? Yeah, sure, why not? We're going to go with Oleksiejczuk, Michael Oleksiejczuk. I hope that's how you say it. Meerschaert. Yeah, man. Look, if Michael Oleksiejczuk can't beat Gerald Meerschaert, then you know he's probably not going to get very far. Like this is like a test, you know. It's not a very high level test. Not to be like Meerschaert's terrible. It's just, you know, that's kind of like how they use Meerschaert, is they kind of use him to try and make a guy look good, or if the guy doesn't look good, then there you go, they got their answer, you know? Just a thought. Just my thinking of it. That's how they use him, right? Getting fed to the wolves. So yeah, Oleksiejczuk, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because the thing is, Meerschaert has this way of derailing kind of like smaller up and coming fighters. I say smaller up and coming fighters. That's not really Oleksiejczuk, is it? So yeah, we're gonna go with Oleksiejczuk. I reckon by a TKO. To be honest, I reckon he'll break. I reckon he'll break Gerald. So yeah, we'll go Oleksiejczuk by TKO. Next up, Bobby Green. I'm not gonna call him fucking King Green. Bobby Green versus Diego Ferreira. I'm gonna be going with Diego Ferreira. I don't like. I like Bobby Green a lot. I just, you know, he's had a rough time recently. You know, he's had a rough go as of recent, and maybe it's time to hang it up a little bit. You know, maybe it's time to consider retirement, but that's not in Bobby Green's nature, I suppose. I don't really know, but yeah, he's had a rough go of it recently. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think he's really going to turn it around. So I'm going to be going with Diego Ferreira, and honestly, I think he could. I think he could bop him on the chin. I think he could knock him out. To be honest, I worry for Bobby Green's chin. I really do. I worry for his chin. I think Diego Ferreira by knockout. It's just a shame. Poor King Green. Poor Bobby. Next up, Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura. I don't know, how good is Kai Asakura? I suppose that's why he's been given Tim Elliott. It's a good test. I'm gonna go with Kai Asakura. Old world fighters beat new world fighters. If you count, yeah, why not? We'll go with Kaya Sakura. I think a grappling advantage is highly likely. I think we could see a submission finish from Kaya Sakura. Maybe even I think maybe we could see a TKO. But I think the just the power of Kaya Sakura, you know, um, and the scrambling and the grappling. To be honest, to be able to get back to his feet and land those shots to do the damage. So yeah, I'm feeling Kaya Sakura. I'm liking. I'm just buzzed. I'm liking Kaya Sakura for a TKO. So yeah, I'm gonna go Kaya Sakura by a TKO. Next up, you should like and subscribe. Comment, I don't know. Jared Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page by Michael Page. I'm gonna go with Michael Venom Page. You know we're biased on this channel. Clearly biased on this channel. So we're gonna go with MVP. I don't know. I think he's gonna be too elusive for Cannonier. I think he's going to try and. I mean, that's his whole thing, isn't it? It's just being out of range and then in range and then back out of range really quickly. That's his whole modus operandi, his whole style, if you will. So we're going to go with MVP. I think it goes to a decision. I don't think he finishes Cannonier. I'd be very shocked if he finishes Cannonier. It'd be crazy if he finished Cannonier, but I think it'd be more likely that Cannonier stings MVP, like just sets a trap and catches him coming in. Maybe he just swings and catches him coming in, you know. But yeah, no, I think Michael Venom Page wins by a decision, which is a shame because I know he wants to do like highlights and stuff. He wants to highlight finishes and whatnot. And that's kind of the Michael Venom Page way. But he given these tough opponents. Jared Cannonier is tough. He's old, but he's tough. He's tough as they come. So yeah, be a tough one, but I think MVP is perfectly capable of getting the win over Jared Cannonier. So we're going to go with MVP by decision. Next up, Jeff Neal versus Carlos Pratas. I'm going to go with Carlos Pratas by knockout. I think Jeff Neal's going to get absolutely bonked, and it's not going to be pretty. Yeah, I very quickly. I think maybe early round 2, maybe the end of round 1. Carlos Pratas just overwhelms Jeff Neal and finishes him fairly handily. So yeah, I'm going to go with Carlos Pratas by TKO. Next up, this is the co-main event, by the way. Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. I'm going to go with Lerone Murphy. You know we're biased on this channel. You already know we're biased on this channel. I'm going with Lerone Murphy to beat Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico, man. Don't understand the matchup. I know there's been a bit of controversy around the matchup. I personally don't understand the matchup. I guess they really like Aaron Pico. I think Lerone Murphy's going to knock him out. I think Lerone Murphy's going to knock him out in round 3. I think he's going to chin him and then TKO him. To be honest, maybe even a body kick. To be honest, I think Lerone. I think he's going to get exposed on the feet. I think Murphy's going to expose him on the feet, and I don't think Pico's going to be able to do much with any sort of grappling against Lerone Murphy, because Lerone Murphy can grapple defensively, but he can grapple. I mean, obviously offensively as well, but right, he wants to stand, so he can defensively grapple. So yeah, I'm going to go with Lerone Murphy because I'm biased, but also because I'm right. So yeah, I'm going to go with Lerone Murphy. By a late knockout. I want to say round 3, but it might be round 2. It could be round 2. Nah, Lerone Murphy by TKO. I can't decide the rounds. Next up for the main event, the final one even. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Now, I'm going with Dricus du Plessis. I've bought into the hype. I'm 100% behind this man. I'm all for the hype. Yeah, I think Dricus du Plessis. Obviously, Khamzat has the grappling advantage. Everyone knows Khamzat has the grappling advantage, and so far he's demolished everybody. I don't know, man. I don't think DDP is going to go in the first round. And typically, when you don't go in the first round, even if you don't think Khamzat gets gassed, he slows down. And maybe if that's like, okay, I haven't finished him in round one, I've got to be a bit more conservative, or maybe it's like I haven't finished him in round one, I've got to come up with something new, or maybe maybe I've just got to wait for him to tire before me. Maybe that's the strategy that he goes with. I couldn't tell you because it looks like he gets tired. So yeah, I don't know. If it goes outside the first round, then the odds go up dramatically for Dricus to win, especially if it goes to a decision. Like he only has to win 3 of the 5 rounds, and if Hamzat typically gasses around the third round, that's 3 rounds that Dricus can win off him easily. So, but that's the thing. I don't think it goes to a decision. I think Dricus finishes him. I think Dricus by knockout. Um, and don't get me wrong. I think Dricus is going to grapple with Hamzat Chimaev, which is ridiculous to say, but like you probably got to grapple with Hamzat Chimaev. Like no one else grapples with him. The people that okay, there you go. The people that did grapple, that have grappled with Hamzat Chimaev, have done the best. The people who haven't shied away from Hamzat's grappling, being Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, yeah, they're smaller. It's not the it's not what matters. It's not what it's the comparison of the grappling, and it's not like I'm not to say that Dricus is as good a grappler as those two guys, but it seems to be that if you just present a threat with your grappling, Hamzat is wary of that. Like Gilbert Burns gets to his back, threatens an armbar, threatens a triangle. Hamzat immediately backs up. Um, Kamaru Usman was fighting for control continuously throughout the fight, and then once Hamzat realized that like this is he was using the fence to burn Hamzat out. Like the plan for Usman was to kind of overwhelm him in the second and third, and it was razor close, and Usman wasn't training for a fight with Hamzat Chimaev. Like that was Usman not off the couch, but that was Usman unprepared for a Hamzat Chimaev. Not completely unprepared, mind you, because he had helped Gilbert Burns with his training camp for Hamzat Chimaev. So it's an interesting one. But man, if you grapple with him, you stand a better chance. And I'm not to say that you have to out grapple him, but like you have to accept that yeah, you are going to get taken down. It's a probably very likely. I mean, it can happen in any fight, and you could just slip and end up getting taken down in any fight. So be prepared for that. I think Dricus is. So yeah, I think he can get the job done. Um, I think he overwhelms him, and I think in round three, honestly, midway through round three, I think DDP finishes him. I think he drops him with a shot. I think he submits him. I think he submits Hamzat Chimaev. I don't think Hamzat goes out. Like, I think he gets dropped, and is already tired. So I think he gets tired. He gets dropped, and he's slow to get up. Like against Gilbert Burns, he got dropped, and he was like, okay, I'm just gonna hang out here for a minute because I'm done. And it wasn't. Sure, he got dropped, but it wasn't because he was ridiculously injured. It was because he was tired. Like he got dropped and he was like, all right, well, I know you're not just going to jump into my guard as well, so I'm just going to take a breather for a second. And he did, and then he lumbered tiredly up to his feet. Not good body language to see observing these fights. So it is a tough one, and it's if Dricus can do this, if Dricus can do that, it's a fight. So, and realistically, it's the most 50-50 fight we've had for a while, where I suppose you could say Dricus is a wild card, but he's not because he's got 23 fights. So he's not really a wild card, and sure, you can say that his striking is unorthodox, but I think his striking will overwhelm Chimaev. Like, I don't think Dricus is scared to take a shot from Chimaev. I don't think Chimaev has the power in his hands to hit Dricus like Hamzat Chimaev and his fans think he does. I mean, I might eat a lot of crow on that, but no, I don't think Hamzat has the power to rock Dricus in like one shot. I don't think that's within Hamzat's arsenal. The hands are to set up the grappling and he gets to a submission. Typically, he doesn't knock people out. Not people like Dricus du Plessis anyway. Once you get past a certain level, he doesn't knock people out. He's got like one knockout. In the UFC anyway. So yeah, and whereas Dricus has finished, he's gone to decisions, he's submitted people, he's knocked people out. He's a more he can finish this in more ways than Khamzat Chimaev can, and that's not to Khamzat's advantage realistically. Like Khamzat does one thing really well, and I think this is MMA. So if DDP can mix it up, and that means grappling with Khamzat at times, to just get a better position, to just stall it out and wait a bit longer and make him work harder. Like just combine what Usman did with what Burns did, and just be threatening off your back. Get to your back and be threatening off your back. Keep constantly threaten with your grappling. Obviously maintain position, but constantly threaten with your grappling and make every inch difficult for Khamzat. If he sweeps one leg, you hop to the other one. You know, and then he's got to take both legs from you. You keep making him work. You keep making him go to the next position, to the next position. Like you draw it out as long as you can. If his gas tank's the problem, which we all know it is, the gas tank's the problem. Even Khamzat's team know it's the problem. Otherwise, why would they put him in this insane cardio camp? You know, he's going to get tired. So the plan is to draw him out, to grapple and make every position difficult, not to win, but to make it strenuous. I think DDP does that. I think he gets Khamzat tired. I think he drops Khamzat, and Khamzat's slow to get up because he's tired, but DDP's not scared to engage. He's going to jump straight in there. I think he's going to get the finish. I don't think he's going to be able to finish him with strikes. I think he's going to start that way, and then Khamzat's going to give us back, maybe trying to get up, and then DDP's going to get the submission. I think he's going to take it and get the RNC. So I'm going to go with Dricus du Plessis by rear naked choke in the 3rd round. And that does conclude this prediction video. Thank you very much for watching all the way until the end. Until next time, keep your chin down and keep swinging. Peace and love. I'll see you around. You should like and subscribe. Comment, I don't know.